Hello, so today we are talking about macroinvertebrates. So these are big invertebrates, things like bugs and different stuff like that in the water. Huge predictor of water quality. So they're basically aquatic bugs, and we call them bioindicators because they're obviously alive, and they give a lot of information about the health of aquatic ecosystems, because depending on the type of macroinvertebrate that's present in the water, that's either going to be a really healthy waterway or a really poor waterway. So they're really, really good indicators of water quality, because if water becomes unsuitable for life, they're all going to die off, except for things like leeches or pouch snails or things that can live in really, really polluted water.
Hi!
So typically, they're going to live at the bottom of an aquatic ecosystem. So when we're looking for bugs and stuff like that in water, you can actually scoop up some of the sediment in the bottom of the water and then filter out that mud, and you can find a lot of these things that we have up on the screen. So a huge advantage of using these macroinvertebrates as indicators, as they're going to give water quality over a really, really long period of time.
That was mine.
Greta, shh, you gotta be quiet. Don't bite me, you weirdo. Hey, so if water quality is really good over a long period of time, we are going to find certain aquatic species living in there. If water quality is really poor, and it's been poor for a really, really long time, we're going to find other aquatic species there. However, the bad thing about that is we can know if the water is good or bad, but if it's bad, we don't necessarily know what's causing it to be bad or how long it has been causing it to be bad. So when we're looking for all of these different little macroinvertebrates, if we have a mixed population, that means that it's been pretty suitable. If we find a lot of stuff in there, a lot of biodiversity, that means it's really good. And the absence of some of these macroinvertebrates is going to be not great necessarily. This testing is also called EPT testing, and what that stands for is these three words here: Ephemeroptera, I can never say that word, Ephemoptera, Plecoptera, and Trichoptera. So those three species are caddisflies, mayflies, and stoneflies, and they are really, really highly sensitive species. So only when water quality is really, really good are we going to find all three of those species. And we find them kind of all over the lower 48 states. So it's a really, really good indicator of water quality for us. So the higher percentage of pollution intolerant species, the better the water quality is going to be. If we find only leeches, midges, worms, black fly larvae, that might mean poor water quality, because those things can survive pretty much everywhere. So we want to see a lot of mayflies and stoneflies, and then fewer leeches and black flies. So it's all about a ratio of what we can find. The other reason why this ties into fishing, I'm so sorry, you guys. The other reason why this ties into fishing specifically is because a lot of lures that we use for a lot of species are going to mimic these different macroinvertebrates, especially for fly fishing. A lot of the different flies that we use are going to mimic stoneflies, mayflies, caddisflies, different things like that, because that's what those fish eat. So if we have good water quality, that means that we have good macroinvertebrates, and that also means that we have a ton of food for our fish that live in those waters. So what I would like you guys to do, and I'm not going to play these through this PowerPoint slide, there's a couple videos in here about these different species I would like you to watch in the actual PowerPoint.
Yep.
So if you could watch them, that would be great. And then you're going to do a little lab activity that is on the back tables where oh my gosh, Greta, where I have some little I don't know, like office supplies and stuff like that, that represent all of these different species. And you're going to tally them up and do like a fake EPT test rating following the worksheet that is back there. And it's based off of the actual worksheet that you would do if you're doing actual water quality testing. So that's kind of what I want you guys to try to get through for today, in lieu of doing fishing poles, because we're not quite at a point where you guys know what you're doing yet, and then I can kind of set you off. So we will be working on those again on Wednesday. Alrighty. Thank you.